Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 22nd. And yesterday, while I was searching around to figure out what I was going to rant about, I started reading an article. But in the middle of this article was a podcast. And part of this podcast talked about taxes and the unfair tax code that we live under. And it really caught my interest because we are going to need a new tax law to pay for our infrastructure bills. The most important facts to understand is that wages are the highest taxed form of income. Other forms of wealth are taxed at much lower rates. And we know that the Republican Party is dead set against raising taxes of any kind. So it was important to understand the variations in the rates between different forms of income and wealth. And maybe it would provide a better understanding of the trickle-down economy that the Republicans love, which they promote so vigorously is really nothing but a myth because it never really happens in any way, shape, or form, because you say it's going to trickle down and trickle down. When the price of something goes up, the trickle down does nothing good to you. But let me tell you some of the facts that I found in his ProPublica article, which was titled "The Secret IRS Files. A Trove of Never-Before-Seen Records Reveal How the Wealthiest Avoid Income Tax." You got to remember one thing that's important. None of these things that these people are doing is illegal. They are just doing what our tax code allows them to do. So you have people like Jeff Bezos, who's now the world's richest man, but before he became the world's richest man, he was already a billionaire. And there were several years when he didn't pay any income taxes at all. And the same is true for Elon Musk, the Tesla founder and SpaceX supporter. And Michael Bloomberg, the ex-mayor of New York, in the same boat. He did not pay any taxes certain times. And a Carl Icahn did it twice. And Warren Buffett has done it. And Rupert Murdoch and Mark Zuckerberg, they have all avoided paying taxes at one point or another. Okay? And that's because the tax code is written in such a way that they can avoid paying tax on their wealth until such time as they sell something, because they don't get taxed on property growth or stock valuations that go up. They don't get taxed until they sell those things. I just want to give you some very interesting facts. So I'll start with this one particular fact that bothers me. You are not going to get any kind of tax increase to pay for the infrastructure bill because the Republican Party is dead set against raising any kind of taxes. So now I will proceed to some of the things that have happened to us because of our tax code. Many Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. And the average income right now in this country is said to be about $70,000 a year. And most people in that category pay about 14% in federal income taxes. Now, the highest tax rate in the country right now is 37%. And that's for couples who earn above $628,000. Okay. But we're going to find out as we go along here that those of us who are in the middle income, and nobody is sure how large the middle income universe is, are going to pay a higher tax rate than those who are ultra rich. As I've said before, the ultra-rich have tax avoidance strategies that those in the middle and lower income can never have, will never be able to take advantage of these situations. So I'm going to talk to you about the 25 richest people in the world and what their tax rate really is. And you will see the stark difference between their tax rate and the tax rate that the middle class and the lower classes end up paying. As I've said before, tax rate for the middle class is roughly 14% a year. So the 25 richest people saw their wealth grow $401 billion in a 5-year period. And they paid $13.6 billion in federal income taxes during those 5 years. The astronomical percentage of 3.4%. Middle class during that same period of time saw their net worth grow about $65,000 in that same period after taxes. That net increase in valuation was due to the value of their homes, and their tax bills were almost $62,000 over that same 5-year period. And there were many other tax inequities that I found in this report. But here is one of the most astounding things. The 25 richest Americans in the period of 2014 to 2018 were worth about $1.1 trillion. By comparison, it would take 14.3 million ordinary wage earners, ordinary American wage earners, put together to equal that amount of wealth. And the federal tax bill, the personal federal tax bill for the top 25 in 2018 was $1.9 billion. But the bill for the average wage earners was $143 billion. 100 times more the average wage earners were contributing in federal taxes than the top 25. So take time to think about that. And you can see that the tax inequity in this country is outrageous. Yet the Republicans fight like hell to maintain that inequity. Why? They don't believe in big government. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in paying taxes for the wealthy. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with a system that penalizes the average wage earner to that extent, to the extent that this ProPublica report shows. And you know what the basic cause of the problem is? Campaign funding. Because the money that the rich are not paying in taxes, they are paying in campaign funding to maintain this inequity. And that's one of the reasons why this country is in such bad shape. One of several different reasons. And probably one of the reasons why we can't compromise on a lot of things. There are those out there, and it's not only Republicans who get this campaign funding, so don't get me wrong on that fact, because the Democrats are just as bad when it comes to campaign funding as the Republicans. And they're just as bad in not being able to get this country together. So we are in a Democratic morass. So I don't know how we're going to get out of this mess, but tax hikes are not the only thing that we have to worry about. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.